welcome to episode 75 of The Road to Glory, here with FC United and Manchester. Hopefully you guys are good. Today is a special episode for you guys. You know, 3/4 of a century now in terms of episodes is absolutely insane, and I want to give something back to you guys. So today, I'm going to be doing a kind of month-long live commentary for you guys. Today, we start things off with a pretty big tie. We are playing Manchester United at Old Trafford in the League Cup quarter-final. As for the fixtures preceding that, we've got 5 to do, 5 league games, 3 that I expect to win, 2 that I want us to give teams a run for their money. We've got tough trips to Stamford Bridge and the Emirates, never going to be easy, and I guess Old Trafford as well, so it could be an easier set of fixtures for me to live com, but alas, who cares? Who cares? Let's do this. What is there to talk about before we get into today's stuff? Well, we've got Man U today. Squad is improving on fitness. We've had one game since the previous episode, but just a quick look. Farias coming back from injury. Slowly but surely our squad's getting back to full fitness. Benitez is suspended, which he's going to be a big miss for us because he has been a kind of integral part of our defence this year, and so to see him kind of suspended is hard to see. And you guys are probably wondering, well, Jack, how did Benitez get suspended? Well, in the only kind of match since the previous episode I believe was against Manchester City. Today we've got Man U, as I've already mentioned, but in the game in between the fixtures we had Southampton, 2-0 away win in the end. We were down to 10 men for a long period of time in this game, and in the end to get 2 goals with only 10 men against what is a decent Southampton side away was a really good result. First goal came from a set piece there. I've missed it. We'll put the next one in 3D for you. But no, that was a really good goal there. Ball came in. Barney hit it on the volley. And then the second goal was just another one right at the end of the game. Southampton pushing up the field. Courtois with the little run. Barbosa, who's been a revelation this year, getting on the ball. But no, I mean, this year so far, I mean, I think we're 6th in the league. 6th? Not too shabby. I mean, last year was a little bit of a disappointment. We had that really solid kind of first year in the league. And last year, obviously, we removed the 5 at the back and kind of went with a slightly more offensive outlook. And it came back to nip us in the bud. But this season, obviously, adding the quality to the team, and it certainly made a difference. But anyway, let's get straight into today's games. We've got Man U on TV in the League Cup. A little bit of TV revenue to get. Playing a pretty much full-strength squad. Barbosa's moved on to the left wing, and I've started playing João José on the right attacking mid. This guy came in for fairly cheap, I believe, 1.8 million, but since he's come to the club, he's been a real revelation. Really nice player, this guy. If I can get his pace up, I'll probably start playing him on the wing, simply because he's got that 18 flair, decent dribbling. His crossing maybe lets him down a little, but this guy's still 18. He's got plenty of kind of potential and plenty of time for me to kind of decide what I want to do with him. One thing I've noticed, particularly with this save, is I have quite a lot of attacking kind of young players, and I've got plenty of time to decide, how is it best to develop them? How do I want to, make the most of what they have and kind of what they can bring as a player? So like we have Pedro Paulo here, who's a fairly young player. He's been tutored by Bocao. I want to get him out on loan next year. But this guy, again, another player who's a very young Brazilian with plenty of time to kind of, I guess, develop as a player and allow me to kind of decide how best to play him and how best to, utilise his talents. But anyway, let's get straight into today's game. Manchester United playing with a slightly different shape to they have done in the past. Whenever we've met up against them before, they've always played with an attacking centre mid instead of a holding man. I don't know if that's a case of them changing their system this year, or whether that's something to do with the fact that we're now considered a slightly more kind of reputable team, and perhaps they're a little bit more cautious to what we offer going forward. If that is the case, that's really good to see. That's a sign of improvement. I'm just going to tell you the guys to relax. We're not expected to get anything here. We'll just take things as they go. And that was a decent team talk. Shane Barney still starting up front. Barney and Barbosa, this season's top goal scorers in the league for us with 5 goals apiece. Not necessarily the best goal scoring record. I mean, I think we've scored 20 odd goals or 21 goals in 13 league games. So we're not hammering them home. And to have our top goal scorers both have 5 goals, I guess that's nothing really standout. A little bit disappointing. Let me switch to the 2D pitch view quickly, because otherwise it's hard for you guys to see what's happening. Alinga with the ball, Josimar with the save, the Brazilian beast. He has made so many key saves this year for us. Like, I don't know, like throughout this kind of save, we've never really had that kind of. Well, we've had solid goalkeepers, but never like a match-winning goalkeeper. And I kind of feel like with Josimar, he's the kind of player who's going to make the big saves for you that kind of swing games in your favour. And he's like, some of the saves he pulls off are absolutely insane. We've got a bit of pressure here. Barbosa with the effort, hits the crossbar and Zumar gets it out. Good effort by us. Looking at the stats, we're really taking the game to Man U, which is a really good thing to see. 50-50 possession. We are competitive here. And that's kind of been my main kind of aim. Like, this season was all about trying to improve on like last year, where obviously I think we finished 12th in the league. Maybe go on a cup run. Now we're an established Premier League team and look to maybe sneak into Europe if we can. I feel like we've been unlucky so far, and I feel like we're the better team. So hopefully we can take that forward going into the second half. We've got the ball here. Courtois, surely not straight from kickoff. Surely not. It can't happen. It's not going to happen. On the transfer front, I've just been reminded of something. Mohamed Abou is going out to Chelsea. Oh God, we've got to defend this. Good tackle. But no, Abou is going out in January, which is hard and difficult to kind of see and take. But unfortunately, he has a release. Well, he's been really unhappy for a while, and I have been promising him European football repeatedly, and Neymar gets on the score sheet there for Man U. But no, with Mohamed Abou, I've been promising him European football this year, and because apparently we're not on course to get it, even though we are, which I don't really understand, he wanted to move clubs, and although I tried to offer him a new contract and stuff, he wouldn't sign one, and his existing contract had a £1.9 million release clause in it, which I wasn't even aware of. It was one of those things where when we moved into the Championship and I first signed him, it was a complete oversight. And Barney's through, bury that. Yes, 1-1 against Man U, good goal. Shane Barney getting on the score sheet. The legend himself, the lad who's come from League One to the Premier League, grabbing us a goal there. Romario just under extreme pressure. Barney lurking there at the back and getting in between the ball and the goalkeeper, and then a really calm, composed finish, dribbling around the keeper and burying it. But no, Mohamed Abou will be going out for £1.9 million on a release clause, which is annoying, but one of those things. Bocau and obviously Courtois have added some quality to the midfield, so hopefully we shouldn't miss him too much, although he is a very good player, and it's going to be difficult to replace him. And I'm hoping we can just get rid of the ball here, because we're playing it around well too kind of extravagantly, although Barney's through, bury that. Oh, he's hit the post. Oh, I thought Barney was going to make it 2-1. I mean, this is the League Cup quarter-final. That is worth reminding you guys. You know, we are far in this tournament now, and I really want to go for the win. I know we're playing against Man U, and it's not easy, but we could win this. We've never beaten Man U in a competitive game, ever. I don't think in the history of FC United and Manchester on this save either we've ever beaten them. So if we could get the win, that would be amazing. Courtois getting a bit short of it. Fierro's on for them. I didn't even realise he'd been subbed on. And now he's running at us. You've got to tackle him. Oh, he buries it. Ugh. Carlos Fierro is OP. It's not fair. He's too good, that lad. If you can get Fierro first year, you can sign him right at the start of the season for like £3.5 million from Chivas. He becomes one of the best strikers in the world, and he's just shown what he had there against us. I am going to stick with the current system we're running. I'm not going to do any subs simply because at the moment we are competitive with Man U. You know, really 50-50 game in terms of both possession and chances, and so I don't really feel a need to change anything. A good pressure by us pushing high up the field. We've got the ball here. Bocau, Charles Jose, Glenn Stewart making a run, get the ball in. Oh, and again Courtois, Barbosa. Oh, did the keeper save that? Who is Kisok? He must be a regen keeper. That is annoying. 2-1 though, you know. We've still got a chance here, and with that chance it takes us above Man U on the total shots. Ball in. Oh, Fazzinho again missing a chance. You've got to feel like this game we could have won it. Or we could still, you know, this game could be equal. We could be level with them, which is really annoying. Oh, they've got a chance here. I was about to pause it and do a change. Alright, tactics. Got to throw men forward, unfortunately. Not ideal, but one of those things. Gotta just chuck some men up the field and see what we can do with not long left. Switch to a narrow 4-3-3. We'll go with that, and then for tactics, team instructions, all out attack, direct, fast, very narrow, closing down the whole pitch. We have to really push up here and try and catch them out, and it's not going to be easy. But we'll see what we can do here. Throwing one last roll of the dice, getting on Warner, who is he's a really kind of big target man, the big American lad. Maybe he can win the ball aerially for us and just give us a chance. Going for this more direct route, getting a big man up front. It's not going to be easy. There's not long left for us to make an impact, but you never know. That is the time. Is time, unfortunately. So 2-1. Again, close to beating Man U, but that's now, I think, 7 or 8 competitive games that we've not done anything against them. I feel like we were unlucky, so you were unlucky today. Same for you guys. You were unlucky. Okay, they didn't react. But Barney did. That's fine. Well, looking at the stats, really 50-50 game. Perhaps unfortunate to lose 2-1. But I'm proud of the lads with that performance, and we go into the next game, which is at Stamford Bridge. I mean, what could be easier than going to Old Trafford in the Cup than having to go to Chelsea in the league, who are top of the league? So we made them battle, apparently. Apparently we played well. Overall, I'm content with that. I'm happy. Titty, that's probably not how you pronounce his name, but Titty was spotted. Looking at Romario, Neymar, Josimar and Barbosa. So Barbosa and Josimar both been looked at for the Brazilian squad. Well, that's good. I mean, Josimar's been insane this year. To be honest, he's made so many key saves, as I mentioned, and this guy's a really good goalkeeper with a lot of potential. He's still only 25, so a little bit of room for improvement there. And Barbosa is currently the youngest lad in the Brazilian national team squad. In fact, if I show you their national team squad, is he still here? Oh yeah, he is. So he's currently listed as sub-4 in the team. So he's kind of second fiddle striker behind kind of, the Brazil's lead attacking players, which is good to see because Barbosa is 19. This guy, I mean, I've tipped him to be the next Fierro. He's got so much potential about him. And I do genuinely feel kind of like he's going to improve in the coming seasons and really become one of the best in the world. This year he's already stepped up his game from last year in terms of, I guess, overall performances and stuff. Looking at his average rating, it's far superior. And for £15 million, not cheap, but starting to repay us. So yeah, that's good. Looking at last 5 games performances, Benitez is now back, which is going to be good for us going forward. Who have we got? We've got Chelsea in a few days' time, which is it's going to be an interesting one. It's going to be obviously Mohamed Abu playing against his future kind of employees. He goes in January. I haven't really got the money in to bring in any kind of insane anchorman. However, that's something I'm certainly looking to kind of fill in as a position, the anchorman role. It's going to be important that we get someone in who can play kind of the defensive midfielder behind both Barbosa and Courtois in midfield. So, looking forward to this. How long until Farias is back? 10 days. I think he got a double hernia or like a torn hamstring or one of those really serious injuries. I mean, Farias is only 20 years old, the left wing back. He's a really good player, but we do have a backup, I suppose, in Marin, who was tipped to be the next Gerard Piqué. He's really not met kind of the expectation that was kind of put on him, I suppose. When I found the guy and I was in the Championship, and he was kind of tipped as the next, the next Piqué, or I can't even remember who. I think it was Piqué he was tipped as. I was really excited by his kind of the prospect of him, and he's somewhat kind of not developed, which is a little bit annoying. And the other problem with him is that in his contract he has a highest kind of earner clause. So he's transfer listed at the moment. His contract runs out the end of the year. I'm probably just going to let it run out because at the moment we're paying him £50,000 a week to sit on the bench for the most part. It's just not worth it, and no team's willing to come in for him while his wage remains as it is. So he's someone who will be leaving along with Mohamed Abu, this kind of coming end of season era. halfway through the season almost now. If I just show you the league table quickly, we're in 5th. There's oh god, I prefer this table because I can line it up easier. So there's 5 more games left until we're at the halfway mark. Looking at the league table, we've got games in hand on the teams behind us, which if we win would get us a nice little cushion into 5th place, which would be good to get. But overall, the team's performing really well, and I'm happy. I'm very happy with how we're getting on at the moment. Michael Owen's impressed with our match preparation. Georgiadis, the former FC United of Manchester lad, impressing for Bournemouth. Transfer listed by request. Why is that? It doesn't say. It does not say why he's transfer listed. Oh, considering leaving the club. Maybe he thinks he's better than Bournemouth. I'd say he's better than a League 2 player, to be honest. I'd agree with him leaving. I'd support him. I would re-sign him, but he's just not good enough. But no, I kind of like to keep tabs on players when they leave the club. Obviously, this is my 10th year in management on this save, so I'm kind of at the stage now where a lot of the young prospects are starting to get old, if that makes sense. Like, a lot of the players who I consider young now in real-life football are older. Benitez has been given a 2-match ban after being sent off. Is that an extension of his previous ban? Yeah, it is. He got a ban for elbowing a player in the head. What a lad. George Benitez just casually elbowed like one of the Southampton players in the head, so I guess he got a longer ban because it was violent conduct, which I shouldn't support or condone in any way, I suppose, but who cares. So, today's game is at Stamford Bridge. Stamford Bridge, what an easy tie. What a easy tie. Condition, Glenn Stewart could do with a break. We'll play Musavi right back. The Iranian guy, he's a quality player. He's no kind of Glenn Stewart, but he does the role of kind of backup right back very nicely. Obviously, he came in a few years ago when we were still in the Championship, so he's been here a while. He knows what's expected of him. What is Bocal's current thing? Reacted well to my comments. Well, thank you, even though that'll be Gerard's comments in the post-match interview, I guess, from the Man U game. I'm going to move Hamuche into... what should I call him? Hamuchi? I don't know. Hamuche? We'll go with that. He's been called up to the Algeria squad. Dual nationality, kind of paying off for him. We'll see how he gets on. He came here in January, but he's kind of been eclipsed by Mohamed Abou. But this is his time to shine, his chance to show us what he's got in terms of being a bit of an anchor man in the centre of kind of our defensive midfield area. I believe in him. I think he's got potential. He's just not had enough first-team football because Mohamed Abou has become kind of... He's owned and bossed the position of holding midfielder for us over the kind of last few years, and no one's come in really to throw him off his perch. And Hamuche, he's just not had a chance to kind of show what he's got and show that he's better than Abou. But anyway, Chelsea haven't conceded in 305 minutes of competitive football. Well, that's always a good sign, isn't it? Have we got any landmarks? Musavi's going to make his 100th league appearance for the club. Shane Barney needs 3 more goals to reach 100 league goals for FC United of Manchester. That would be interesting to see if he could get that landmark. I think that's pretty insane. I don't know if I mentioned this, but Glenn Stewart became the record league appearance kind of player for FC United of Manchester like the other month, which is amazing. Over 250 league appearances. Play without any pressure. Midfield passionate. I have faith in you. Go out there and make a difference. Courtois and Bocal reacting well. Apparently Bocal means big mouth in Portuguese. Don't quote me on that, but I was talking to someone about that, and apparently that's what it means. But anyway, this is going to be a tough tie. Chelsea have looked amazing this year. They are top of the league. Barbosa's taken a knock already. I'm going to make a change there. 41 minutes in and there's a chance. We'll bring on Warner to play there. See how he gets on. The big Australian American target man. He's had a few chances in the first team. He's not kind of blown my mind, but I mean, he came in for £10 million from LA Galaxy. He's got a bit of potential about him. And Eden Hazard, well, he has lots of potential about him. Getting the goal there. That was a tidy little finish for Chelsea. I think it was I can never say the right back's name. Is it Azpilicueta? It's something like that. Hazard there with the good finish, although Josimar a little bit slow on his line. But Man U, Chelsea getting the lead there against us. Apparently we're mispacing too many long passes. Well, that's not good. I'm just going to tell the guys they've been unlucky so far, because apparently that's what I should say, and players always react well to being told they've been unlucky. But anyway, Chelsea, they've played well so far. They've dominated the game looking at the stats. We've not really created anything. Let's see if we can take it to them this second half. Might have to make a change or two if we get 60 minutes into the game. And Bocal's picked up a knock. Well, I'd rather sub off Bocal now than keep on playing him, risk his injury getting worse, because we've got some big games coming up that are winnable. Not that this game isn't winnable, but I mean, it's going to be a big ask. We've got a chance. Barney buries it. That is 98 league goals for FC United of Manchester. Could he get 100 this episode? That would be amazing if he could get his 100th league goal for the club during a live comment. Looking at how we've started the second half, we've got a lot more chances so far. Bocal with a little chip through to Musavi, Charles Jose nodding it down, and the ball just found its way to Barney's left foot, set up perfectly for him. Beautiful finish by Barney, and that's what he does. Calm, composed finish. And now maybe I'm going to regret subbing off Bocal. Who knows? We've got another chance here. Cross comes in. Can we do something with it? Is that a penalty? Howard Webb awards a penalty to us. Well, I love Howard. Barney, come on. Oh, he's missed it. That was a chance for 99 and he's missed it. He missed a penalty against Man U a few seasons ago and I didn't make a big thing about it, and everyone was like, Jackie, you were not annoyed you could have drawn with Man U, and I didn't realise. But I realised there that goal could be a big kind of game changer. Damn. Well, at least we've had that good start continue this half. But we've got to defend well here. Chelsea, they're a good team. We've got to stop Phillips' run. And now Howard Webb gives them a penalty. I don't like Howard Webb anymore. I don't like him anymore. I've changed my mind. If they score this, I'm going to like him even less. But Chelsea, who's taken it? Who's taken the penalty? Eden Hazard, miss it. Of course he doesn't miss it. It's Eden motherfucking Hazard. Damn it. I hate FM. Scripted. That is pure scripting. I'm just going to call it. I don't get, why people get annoyed at FM. No, that's a lie. I do understand why people get mad. But, I see people get mad at, the stupidest little things. And I'm just it's not that big of a deal, is it? But anyway, Chelsea on the attack here on a completely different subject. Let's not let them score again. 2-1 would be a half-decent result against Chelsea. I mean, we've stopped their little clean sheet run they were on of 300-odd minutes, which is good. Maybe we can grab one for the draw. Maybe Barney can redeem himself. Or maybe Chelsea are just going to grab another. Josimar, where are you going? Whenever the keepers get the ball like that and run out with the ball on FM, I'm just like, don't kick it straight to their player like I know you want to. Barney, bury that. Jose, yes! Let's go, 2-2. Oh, and João Jose, the 18-year-old Brazilian lad, with the dramatic equaliser. Warner winning the ball there, the big American, the tall lad, winning the ball. That's what he does there. And then the ball finds its way to Jose, who then gets a slightly fortunate kind of finish that deflected off there and snuck in. But nevertheless, I am not complaining. That is a great little goal, and I think that is going to be the game. 2-2. Great result to start off this episode, or I suppose not really start it off. It's kind of still the start of this episode. I don't even know. But I'm happy. I'm content. That's 2-2. We've upset the odds there. Lads, you've proved a lot of people wrong in avoiding defeat. You babes. You were unlucky today as well, I feel. Courtois with another good performance. But João Jose got man of the match with that little goal. Looking at the stats, we didn't deserve to win. But then again, we deserved to get something against Man U in the previous game. So it all balances itself out. Chelsea are top of the league and they're a very good side. And we've done Spurs a little bit of a favour. I think that's the second time we've got kind of results against Chelsea. Didn't we do that last year? Don't quote me on that. I'm pretty sure. Is there a way I can check previous meetings? I'm not sure if there is. I know there is. Oh, but I don't even care. I'm not even mad. I am not even mad. Chelsea held to a draw. that's a good result. Match report. That was good. That was good. I'm pleased. Josimar put in a good performance, and we looked competent when called upon. Or Josimar looked competent. Oh, I didn't realise you could do this. See, I learned something new about FM. I never even do this normally. I mean, does anyone really use this? I might have to use this more often. I love it when you find something out new about FM. So, is this just telling me how well people played well? Jose played well. And again, this guy got the winner for us, João Jose. I mentioned him before this game. He's a superb player for us. He's 18? Is he 19 soon? He's 19 in a few months, but he's got fantastic potential about him. And to get a goal there against Stamford Bridge is going to do his confidence a world of good. Sunderland in the next game, a game you'd expect us to get a result at, and they just drew with Spurs, so fair play to them. They've done Chelsea a favour just like we did Spurs a favour, so maybe they're not going to be as easy as I think, but we are at home and I fancy my lads against Sunderland to go out and get a result. Fifth at the moment in the league is absolutely crazy. I've not really mentioned how happy I am with that, at the moment. I mean, this season, obviously, my kind of plan when I got to the Premier League was 3 solid years in the Premier League, establish ourselves as a mid-table team. I want to be a team that going into our 4th season, it's a team that, if you can imagine in real football, at the start of the season where you're predicting players, you go, FC United Manchester, that's a mid-table team, rather than, predicting that we're going to go down. And I feel as if we're slowly getting there. I know our prediction this year was to finish 15th in the league, so we are getting there in terms of, becoming that mid-table team. João Jose, let's give him a new contract. That seems like a fair deal to me. Can I give him a longer I can. Right, I'm going to give you a 5-year deal on that. I think that's a fair deal. And I'm going to remove the yearly wage rise. Let's lock him into a really bad contract. Well, it's not that bad, but nothing crazy. I don't like to have the yearly wage rises because it really adds up quickly. Josimar's on decent form. I'm not going to praise him because his form isn't insane, but I am going to praise Barney. Josimar, he's only averaging a 7.16, which I don't know. In keepers, they always seem to struggle to get kind of good ratings, but compared to outfield players. But at the same time, I don't really want to kind of say he's played well and then him not played very amazingly. How can you see Algerian defensive midfielder Hamuche as a good role model for Moyano? That makes no sense. Hamuche is a centre defensive mid. Moyano is a striker. Although, actually, I'm being critical here, but I've always tipped Moyano to be more of a centre mid than a striker. So, you might be onto something here, Mr. James Constable. I think you are. I think you are, son. So, I'm not sure if this is the case. Someone can quote me on this, but basically, if you tell a player who's tutoring another player, take them under their wing, it passes on their personality. So, Hamuchi is fairly determined, but you also believe it has a bearing on where their stats go, because every player has their potential ability and their current ability, and you can kind of redistribute where those stats are going to go. Don't quote me on that. Someone let me know. I have a feeling that in having Hamuche train Moyano, it'll help his defensive elements of his game, which if I want Moyano to play a defensive, or rather the centre mid role, it'd be nicer to have him have kind of an all-round balance in terms of his stats, rather than being kind of a striker, have striker stats but play centre mid. Does that make sense? Someone let me know in the comments. Am I right in thinking that that's going to help him with his defensive side of his game? Or am I just talking out my bumhole? I'm tempted to do a video on tutoring. There's a load of videos which I've got listed down, I want to do a tips and tricks video or just a tips video on this. But it's kind of finding the time to do it and making sure you get all the details right. Because I don't really want to tell people something and then them turn around to me and go, "You were wrong about that." Because at the end of the day, if it's a tips and tricks video, I want it to be right. And every year FM changes slightly. There's a new mechanic or something that gets added, or something that changes, and sometimes it's hard to keep up to date. I'm not kind of one of these people who sits there for years, checking the latest FM updates, what's changed. I'm one of these people who's like, it was like this in Championship Manager 2004. It's probably the same now. which obviously it's not. But I mean, this game is so different. I went back and played Champman a few weeks ago just to see what it was like, and it was very different to say the least. Matias Herberto becomes the youngest ever World Club Championship player. I was looking at this guy for a bit, but I don't think he's actually going to develop into anything, so I decided not to pursue him as a potential signing. We have got January coming up, and obviously I can then maybe look to grab a few players on pre-contracts from other European countries, which could be an interesting one. Moyano is concerned. You'd like to go out on loan. You can go out on loan. Moyano's been here. Oh, sorry, Mayo, not Moyano. They're two completely different players. Can you imagine how awkward that would be if you were like in a meeting with your player and you kind of just referring to him as another person? I mean, it's bad enough when you're walking down the street or something and you name someone wrong, or like you call like a teacher dad or mum or whatever in a lesson, or even when you're just walking down the street and you think you see someone you know, so you shout their name and wave at them, and as you've got your hand up in the air and you kind of reach that highest point and start waving, you're like, oh shit, that's not who I thought it was, and it's just some random person like, what do you want, you twat? I've been swearing a bit this episode, I'm sorry, but that actually happened to me once. Blackburn Rovers want Peltola. Do you now? Well, you're going to have to come in for him with a bid that matches my valuation of 3.2 million. I'll tell you what, I'll offer him for 3 million, and Chelsea want him. Chelsea want Moyano. Well, I'm not selling him to Chelsea. I'm determined not to sell him to Chelsea because I don't want him to rot in their third team or their like seventh team, knowing Chelsea. That is not what I want from a young prospect like him. How long's Bocau out for? 4 to 7 days. Oh, that's fine. I'll just bring in Abu to play playmaker. Mohamed Abu, great little playmaker. I'm not surprised Chelsea have come in for him, but I am surprised that I didn't realise he had a release fee or a release clause of £1.9 million, because that's just absolutely ludicrous. But anywho, Glenn Stewart can move to right back. Farias is still not fully fit. How long? 1 day. I can hold out for one more day, I suppose. We'll play Moyano at left mid, give Barbosa a little bit of a break. Thinking Matsui, this guy, he's an okay player. Obviously, he's Japanese international. He's always been a bit of a backup player. I got him in on a free. He's not really shone in our first team, if I'm honest, like I was hoping he might. But who knows? Maybe I can cash in on him in the summer. He's one of those players who I might be able to just sell on. And if I can get £1 million for him, that's £1 million I didn't have before I signed him as a backup player. But anyway, looking at the squad, is that our strongest 11 for this match? Benitez is still out. Is it one more game? One more game, so we'll have a few of our stronger players back for the future kind of next few games, which is good. We'll leave Barney on because I want him to get his career league goals thing for Man. I want him to get the record. I want him to get, how many more goals is it? 2 more goals to reach 100 league goals. Let's see if you can do it this game, Barney. He's not. I don't think he's scored 2 goals in a game in a little while, so it'd be nice for him to come in and get them. We'll have to see how he gets on. Calm, go out there and relax and play your natural game. Midfield, passionate, I have faith in you. Strikers, I have faith. And defender, calm, I have faith. And everyone reacts well except the 2 centre mids, but that's fine. We'll just see how we get on here. Sunderland are struggling in the league. I'd like to win 2-0. I think that's kind of what I'd predict, given our league position, our current performances, and how well we've been playing. Looking at the stats, we're dominating possession early on, which is good to see. That real quality that we've added in the midfield this year certainly is making a big difference. I also feel kind of like that's been the main thing that's kind of benefited us this year, has been our kind of more solid defensive and midfield kind of setup. Moyano, bury that. Great goal. Good little passing and move in there. Hamuche, Barney and Moyano linking up. Barney, despite his kind of somewhat average creative stats, he always seems to be able to kind of pick out a pass like that one. And then bury it. That's a great finish by Moyano. It's really good to see kind of our younger players really grabbing the goals for us. I mean, looking at our entire attacking force, we have 5 or 6 kind of 23-year-old and below kind of players, very young strikers. We don't really have much experience, but all of them have kind of stepped up their game this year, and it's nice to have. It's not really a problem having too many strikers. We'll just tell them that they weren't bad, but they can improve. Calm. I'm happy with your solid defensive work. Good stuff by the lads so far. Good team performance. We're leading comfortably. Sunderland yet to have a shot on target, and this is a very good home performance by us. Hamuche's picked up a knock. I suppose it'd be better to take him off rather than risk him. We'll bring on John Carson, the Northern Ireland, FC United and Manchester legend, obviously. He's another player who came with Glenn Stewart during our second season, I think, or our third season, and then he went out on a free to Crystal Palace, and he returned at the start of this year. He's not made loads of performances, but he's come on for a handful of appearances for us. We'll bring on Barbosa for the end, and then I'm also going to bring on Matsui for Courtois, just because Courtois got sent off before, and I don't want him to get sent off again. He's on a yellow, no point in risking him with not long left. But overall, it looks like it's going to be a good old 1-0 win. Not necessarily the result I was looking for, but we get 3 points, we get the W, and that is what we needed from this game. Come on, ref, just blow. Or let us get a goal. Glenn Stewart, he's going to blow now when we're through on goal. I know what this ref's like. Watch him. Blow now. He's wasting my time. He's trolling this ref. I'm not Sir Alex Ferguson. You don't need to add on extra minutes after the 3 minutes of added time. But anyway, good performance. That was a good performance, lads. Looking at the stats, dominated from start to finish. We'd never look like losing it. That result sees us move up to 4th. Worth pointing out that Arsenal have played a game less than us, but still, 4th place is a good place to be at the 16-game mark. And we have got Arsenal in a game coming up, so that should be an interesting one. Will be interesting to see how we get on against them. They lost today against Spurs, which is a good result for us. And who knows, if we can beat Arsenal this month, it'd actually leave us in a fairly kind of decent position in terms of maybe even starting to dream of a Champions League spot. And we're on level points as well with Man U. I think they may also have a game in hand. Have they got a game in hand? Oh, they've got 2 games in hand, so we can't get too carried away. I was going to say it'd be nice, it'd be kind of amazing if we were able to finish above Manchester United, but I don't think that's going to happen. What have we got here? Peltola's had offers made for him by Reading and Blackburn. We'll let him go to either. I don't want Chelsea to come in for him because they've already stolen Mohamed Abu for 1.3 million. That's even less than I thought it was. That's ridiculous. Varias returns to training. That's good to see. Fabian Benitez. Is it Fabian? Why do I think it's Fabian? That's not right, I don't think. Where's Benitez? Oh, it's George Benitez. See, I knew that. I did know that. But no, good to see him getting back as well. It means that we can really start to play with a full-strength side. I say that. Hamuche's injured. Obviously, Bocal's out as well. So, not 100% full strength, but still not too bad. It's good to have kind of our core defensive unit back as a whole. Obviously, we've been missing Farias for a while, and Benitez has missed the last 3 games. So, good to have those guys back. But despite their kind of absence, we've got some big results. Manchester City won the World Club Championship trophy as well. I'm going to be honest, does anyone actually care about the World Club Championship? Like, I know I have a lot of European viewers. I don't know if there's any guys from further afield. I don't know how big it is in North America, but I know like Brazil take it really seriously, the World Club Championship. Like, it's as big, if not bigger, than their kind of Champions League equivalent, and they go mad about it in Brazil. It's like they're expected to win it. Whereas in England, kind of, I guess it's in November, December time. It's kind of an odd time to have the World Club Championships. But I think it's widely kind of just regarded as a bit of a distraction, and I don't think it's even on par, to be honest, with like the European Super Cup or the Champions League. Like, I don't think I've ever watched a World Club Championship game except from when Liverpool were in it, when they won the Champions League in like 2004, 2005. I hate sirens so much. One day I will not have a police car go past my house during a commentary, and it will be the greatest moment of my life. Like, I'll actually have a party celebrating it. It's one of the downsides of being a student, I suppose, having to live on a main road because it's cheaper and having police cars driving back and forth. But anyway, we have Reading coming up, who are 10th in the league. We are fourth. Fourth. That just seems really odd to see fourth next to FC United and Manchester. I don't know what any of you guys think. I don't know. I kind of feel like this season we should qualify for Europe. I feel as if we're in a position to do so. At the start of the season, with the transfers I made, obviously Bocau was a big punt, kind of as a player, but he looks like he's really paying off for us. And I mean, if you look at the volume of players we sold and the money that we brought in, I sold a lot of first-team players this summer, and I brought in a few kind of replacements. And all in all, at the moment, it's looking like we've done some good business there in terms of getting rid of some players, but then replacing them with, some very adequate cover and not having to spend too much, because I think we spent 65 million in the end, or 75 million. I'm not sure. But in selling 45 million pounds worth of players, it allowed me to strengthen up the squad, and I was a little bit concerned that just the volume of players that I'd sold was really going to bite us back, but it's looking like we made the right decision there. Has Scotland had its regen day? I'm thinking out, when's Scotland's regen day? Because I've just had this 15-year-old come up, and he was definitely not around before. I want this guy. He looks like he could be kind of the future of Scottish football. You're average at best. Jim Wood, what a name. 15-year-old. You see, he turned 16 soon, but this Doyle guy looks like a bit of a beast. What's his PA? Leading Premier League centre mid in the future. Wouldn't be a bad signing to grab. We're getting to the stage now where I can start to really look at bringing in some young kind of regens to the squad and building an academy. Getting in lots of kind of 16, 17-year-olds from Europe, rather than having to get them from the continental countries. If we could qualify for the Europa Cup this year, that would leave me in a situation whereby I can start to attract kind of youngsters from big European club academies, and then that's when I can really focus on bringing in the 15, 16, 17, 18-year-olds, sticking them in my reserves, getting them out on loan, and really start to kind of build a youth side, because until kind of this point, the players I've been signing are players who I've brought in kind of half expecting them to play in the first team from the off, because I haven't got the money to kind of invest it in youth for the future, and simply because we can't attract in that many kind of young players, and the good young players who I can attract in are usually good enough for the first team. But it's now getting to that stage where we kind of have that first team made up of real kind of class acts, and I need to start building for the future. Obviously, this is our third season, and we don't look like we're going to be going down in the Prem. So, obviously, next year's this year was always about establishing ourselves, and hopefully, maybe pushing on for the playoffs. But it's looking like this year at the moment, we could challenge for Europe, which would be important, and it'd be kind of an added bonus. I know a lot of people, when I first got promoted to the Premier League, they were like, "Oh, so you're going to win the Champions League in 3 years?" And that, honestly, it's really hard to win the Champions League without losing a load. It's far easier to kind of get promoted based off consistency. Barney scores. Good goal. Sorry. Wow, 2 minutes in. Good start. But no, as I was saying, it's a lot easier to kind of get promoted through the divisions like I've done than it is to win the Champions League, simply because when you're going up through divisions, it's about consistency, whereas when it comes to knockout tournaments, you need a little bit of luck. You have to have things go your way. And to be honest, we've not really had much domestic luck. I don't think I've ever really got that far into competitions. I think the quarter-final of the League Cup a few times is probably our best. But anyway, Barney's now 1 goal off that record. He's through. This is 100 for you, Barney. He buries it. Of course he buries it. Wow, 2-0 after 20 minutes, and that's Barney's 100th league goal for FC United and Manchester. That is amazing stuff. Bit of a defensive mistake there, but Shane Barney is there to capitalise on it. Oh wow, that's really testament to how good Barney has been for us over the years. This year he's been vastly improved on last year. Last year, I think he scored something like 7 league goals in 20 odd appearances, He kind of struggled last year. His first year in the Premier League, he was second top goal scorer. Last year was a tough one for him, but this year he's been a creative outlet as much as kind of that clinical striker he always has been. And wow, as I talk about him being a creative outlet, he's there to get a cheeky assist. 3-0 after 40 minutes. This is insane. I can see why Reading have just agreed to sign Aku Peltola from us for £3 million, because they need a keeper to firm up this defence. Wow, good performance so far. We want 6. I don't think we've had any kind of crazily massive wins. Maybe we can grab one here. Who knows? Who knows? Come on, let's not let them score. Don't let them score. Good save, Josimar. Oh, he can't get the rebound. Disappointment. Are Reading going to pull off one of the greatest comebacks ever? Probably not. Now I've said that and acted all cocky, it probably will happen though. Curse of the commentator, isn't it? Whenever you say something, it always happens, or the opposite happens, it would seem. I say that, I was talking about Barney being the creative outlet and he set up a goal. So is that what's the opposite of curse? Like, if you positively jinx something, I don't really know. Does that have a term? I'm very happy with the way things are going, lads. Keep it up. I don't think it has a term. But anyway, Barney's on an 8.7 performance this half, which is insane. Glenn Stewart had an insane start to this year at right back. And to be honest, he's been a little bit quiet by his standards, all things considering. I mean, he's never a particularly kind of standout player, but what he does is he does the important stuff that he needs to do as the kind of right back or centre half. He's there doing it without really getting recognition for it. Moyano injured. We'll bring on Pedro Paulo. Why not? But no, Glenn Stewart, I mean, he's performed well this game. 7.2 isn't bad. But at the start of this season, he was averaging like 9.0s every other game, which was mental. And he's been a little bit quiet since. But all things considering, I mean, he's been insane for us over the years. And he does kind of the important stuff right whilst being quiet about it. And wow, Reading have just got another goal. Now I'm really paranoid I've jinxed it. I know they've only got 5 minutes left to get a goal, but I'm nervy. I am nervy. Whose fault was that? Let's blame Benitez. You were slow there. You were 18-year-old left back, centre back. It's all your fault. Oh God, there's another chance. Please let this be us scoring, or I'm going to kind of kick myself. No, they better not score. Reading better not score. They better not score. They better not score. That will do. Get it out. Courtois, you've got like 19 acceleration and 19 pace. Yeah, that was a free kick. We'll take that. Book him, ref. I'm really paranoid we're going to screw up here, because why would they show a replay chance? Unless we're going to get something from this. Oh God, Farias, why? Oh my God, I've cursed this. I've cursed it. Don't let them score. It's hit the crossbar. Oh dear. I've got my head in my hands here, guys. It's only Reading, he said. They're not going to score, he said. Then they scored. No, there's not long left. Surely we've got this now. Carson, Fred threw the ball. Let's just get one more for the sake of it, even though there's barely any time left. That'll do. Phew. Okay, so that was a lot nervier than it needed to be, because we were 3-0 up after 40 minutes. When they made it 3-1, I joked, and then by the 5th minute of added time, I was kind of pooping myself. Well done, lads. That was a good win. I could be all critical, but to be fair, it was a good result in the end, and everyone's looking upbeat and inspired. So that's another good win for us. Continues to see us playing well. Arsenal got another game in hand on us, but that said, we're still winning. We're still doing a job for us, which is good to see. I don't know. I feel as if we've performed really well this year, actually. I don't think we can win the league, don't get me wrong, but maybe we could sneak in for the Champions League. If we continue like this and we can beat Arsenal in our next game, it wouldn't be kind of out of the realms of possibilities, although I'd be content with 5th or 6th, and I think that's being realistic. Good to see Liverpool performing again this year, because the last 2 seasons when I've been in the Prem, they finished 14th and I'm guessing this will be 13th. Yeah, 14th and 13th, but they're now, they're 6th, they're kind of challenging for Europe again, which is nice to see. But no, 31 points after 17. Chelsea are only 8 points ahead, I suppose. There's 2 games left until the halfway mark. I believe there's 2 games left of this live com. We've got Arsenal in the next game. It is at home. Maybe we have a chance to do something there. That'll be an interesting one. What is our unbeaten record? 5 games in the Premier League. Good stuff. Celtic won 975k. I'll go with 825 non-negotiable with 30% profit. I think this Gordon Doyle guy's a pretty nice regen. 15 years old, and his birthday's not until August, and it's December, so he's actually like 3 months into being 15. And he's playing for the Scotland under-21s as well. And if I could get him tutored by one of our midfielders, he could become a little bit of a beast. He looks like an ideal understudy for potentially Barbosa in a few years. For some reason, he plays centre-back, but he has the defensive stats of a mongoose. I don't know what a mongoose's defensive stats are, but they're not great. But he looks like he's got a bit of potential, and to be fair, considering his age and his current ability, Celtic can't ask him for that much for him, all things considering. He's still got a few years left to develop, and it'll be good for us. Apparently, I'm chasing Gutierrez, who I've never ever heard of or seen in my life. But we'll scout him anyway. Because so often I hear, Work the Space is interested in such and such, and then I'm like, well, I don't know where this story's come from, and then you scout the player, and he turns out to be half decent, so you sign him. Dave Chadwick has heaped praise upon Shane Barney after his inspired performance. He's revealed recently how delighted he is at the club's current league position. Well, I'm not surprised. I'd be happy too if I had joined a club in League One on a free, having been released by MK Dons, and then I'd gone on to become their record league goal scorer. I think I'd be pretty content. But you can really see what I was talking about last year actually here, how he only got 7 goals in 33 games, and this year he's got 8 goals in 14. He's back on the form he had last year, and it's good to have the old Barney back, banging in the goals for us. But anywho, let's get into today's game. Well, let's quickly hurry to the Arsenal game. Gordon Doyle's bid has been accepted. I'll go for Hot Prospect, but we'll offer you a bit more money than you wanted. We'll offer you £250,000. I'm not giving you a yearly wage rise, but I'll give you a goal bonus of £3,000 and an appearance bonus of 2k, because you're probably never going to make an appearance for at least the first 3 or 4 years. So if I offer him those bonuses, then he'll take the bait, but we'll never have to pay him. So evil genius-y, that contract. It's like making a deal with the devil, signing up for FC United and Manchester. You see what I did there? Because we're like the Red Rebels, and it's like Manchester United are the Devils. See? Clever. That wasn't even intentional. But anyway, Ruben Mayo, I've let the other players know I'm not happy and I want to go on loan. Well, guess what? We've been struggling with injuries, and you understand. Oh, well, that's nice. Right, I'll offer you for loan anyway. I swear he's loan listed anyway. Don't quote me on that. Yeah, he is. If no one wants to come in for you, that's not my problem. Right. Rotation player, and you only have to pay 20% of his wages, whoever wants him. Just take him away so he's not miserable with me. Don't you hate it when you just get a really miserable player, or someone who just cries no matter what you do, and they're like, I want to go out on loan? It's like, you're on the bench every week and I keep on bringing you on and you're still unhappy. Leonardo or Leandro Amaral is yet to find anyone. You have 17 judging and potential and judging abilities, 17. How can you not find anyone? You found 2 players in total. You found 2 players. Well, fucking done. I wonder why his scouting rating is so good. I really do. There's some scouts and you're just like, well, how the hell have you got this scouting kind of reputation? Let's have a look at what 15-year-olds are available. I'm not going to go for a massive regen search, but just see if there's any more who came up. Mendes, goalkeeper, 15, and he's only just turned 15, right? Stealing from Portugal on a regen fee. You see, I don't really check the Portuguese regen days. I'm more focused on the kind of England ones, but I should probably take note more often the Portuguese ones and stuff, so I can snap up players like that. Felipe Mendes. Any more regens I should know about for any more? I can't see anyone who my scouts are drawing my attention to. This guy, Harold Thomason, 16. Could be okay. He's not crazy. He's not like, my scouts aren't going ape shit about him. What about Martial? See, I have this weird attraction to Brazil. That sounded so wrong. I was about to say I have this weird attraction to young Brazilians, and then I changed it to Brazilians, but that really doesn't change how odd that whole sandwich. What has sandwiches got to do? I was going to say sentence, but for some reason sandwich came out. I'm going crazy, guys. I'm actually going crazy. It's the disadvantage of these live comms. It requires me to have like a longer mental thinking capacity, and it's like a physical endurance challenge. But I enjoy doing these. They're fun. It allows me to give you a bit more kind of a insight into what I do on my day-to-day kind of management kind of style and stuff, I suppose. Save the game. Auto-save saves, guys. Remember that. If you get a crash dump, don't give me that crap. You should be backing up your saves. Actually, speaking of crash dumps and stuff, I don't ever had a crash dump or a corrupt file on FM. Like, I know a lot of people get them and like, stop series because of them. I mean, I back up the files anyway. Like, I really recommend you back up your files, and even to the stage where you just have a copy of your FM saves folders, like on a hard drive or something, that you back up every so often. I guess it's more critical if you like doing YouTube or something like this, because I dread to think what would happen if I lost this save. But no, back up your FM files. Be smart with your files in general, because I mean, I learnt the hard way years ago that you have to back up your work, because if everything goes tits up, then you're going to struggle. Toulouse's Hernandez could be available for £9 million. What a bargain, actually. Holy crap. Holy crap. Holy crap. He's good. He's very good. Who else wants him? He wants to move to a bigger club. Apparently we're bigger than Toulouse. I like that. That's a good thing to know. Who wants him? Atletico Madrid want him. Fiorentina, Valencia. I mean, Blackburn want him. Oh, I might have to make a bid for this guy. Holy crap. Okay, so let's look at this logically. If I was looking at this guy, guys, what should I look for? Because I can't just look at his kind of polygon and his stats and go, he looks good. You've got to look at what he can actually offer. And I'm seeing kind of a target man poacher here. That's what I see. I mean, a lot of people criticise how much I use the polygon. People don't seem to realise I don't use the polygon to judge a players overall. I look at the stats individually. But I feel as if with the polygon, I can have a preconceived idea or kind of vision of what I'm expecting a certain role or player to look like. So when I see this, I see target man poacher, just because I see big aerial, big physical and big speed. But then I'll look at these stats individually to see, is he actually what I think he is? Which, looking at his stats, he is looking like a bit of a target man. If I just show you a target man attack, he matches the bill. The only thing he lacks is bravery, but he's got that pace and acceleration as well that could lend him to being a bit of a poacher. And to be fair, he could probably even play complete forward or advanced forward. Let's have a look. Perhaps lacks the creativity to be the complete forward, but we have a lot of playmakers in our team anyway, so that's not something to worry about too much. Advanced forward. To be fair, he's probably an advanced forward. That's what I'd play him as. If I was going to play him... Oh, I might have to make an offer for this guy. Might have to make an offer. How much do they want? They want 9 million. Let's ask the board. He costs too much for you to afford. No, don't say that. Don't say that. Don't say maybe, baby. I don't even know what I'm on about here. We can't afford him. That's a sad face moment. He looked like quite a nice player as well. I strongly recommend, I know that when you look at your inboxes and stuff, you can filter agent offers. I just leave them open because occasionally an agent will offer a player that you're not necessarily looking for, but you would have missed otherwise, and he really kind of fits the bill. Send Steven Gerrard to the press conferences, because that is all he is good for. just send him away. Steven, it's your time to shine, my friend. That's all he does as assistant every other week. Mendes is coming as well, that Benfican, really young goalkeeper. I think this guy has some potential. He's 15. He could become a leading goalkeeper at the moment. He's got the ability for the Blue Square Bet Prem. I think he's 15 at the end of the day, and he's coming in for £500,000. It's very rare that a player of kind of that nature who's 15 and has that much potential and kind of really good base stats for a 15-year-old. It's very rare that this guy will ever kind of in 5 to 7 years, where he's kind of at that stage where I really have to judge, is he going to be long-term kind of quality for the club, or is he just a player who I should sell on while I can? It's very rare that a player will kind of not be worth what you've brought him in for in terms of his compensation. Craig Tack is concerned. You're a byproduct of my youth team who's never made an appearance ever. I don't even know that you exist. I'm just going to release you. That is one problem actually with being FC United in Manchester. I'm a bit lazy when it comes to this, but because my academy's so crap, I only ever get half-star players in, so obviously I never keep them on, but then half of them never actually leave the club and they just come to the reserves for the sake of it. Looking at our reserves, actually, we've got a few players in here I can talk about, but you can see like these guys, I should probably just release these all now, but I can't be bothered to go through them individually, so I'm willing to pay them like £55 a week to stay. In fact, I'm going to get rid of them all later because I know someone's going to be screaming at the top of their voices about me. A few other players in our reserves which I suppose can have mentions. Kaskar here, 18-year-old lad. He's got loads of potential. I want him to go out on loan, but he is currently learning from Shane Barney. I mean, who better to tutor that kind of potential of a player than Shane Barney? And the other guy to tell you about is Eoin Carey, the Irish lad. He came in last year. He's actually developing very nicely playing in the reserves, and I'm certainly going to look to loan him out next year, get him that first team experience. I need a new logo pack as well. I updated my logo pack to one because there was a few badges was missing, but all the Irish badges are like big and they kind of hurt your eyes and stuff. It's a bit annoying seeing Shamrock Rovers win everything as well nearly every year. I'm calling hacks on them. But anyway, we've got a trip to the Emirates. Fun. Actually, I think the last few times we've been to the Emirates, we've got results against Arsenal. Don't quote me on that. But I have a weird feeling like that Arsenal are a team that we do fairly well against. I say that actually, but it looks like we've lost to them twice, drawn once and won once. Well, it could be worse, I suppose. That shows that we do occasionally outplay Arsenal, which I don't think many teams can say. Bocal's now back to full fitness, which is good. Let's go with our full strength team today. Abu playing anchor man. Moyano's out injured, but that doesn't matter. That's not going to faze me. We'll play Pedro Paulo on left wing, I think. Paulo, he's not a bad player. He deserves a run out. I would play Warner there if I really wanted to play full strength squad. I mean, Warner's kind of, or Warn, whichever way you'd rather say his name, he's not a bad player, but he's more of kind of that all-round backup player. He is only a backup option. I actually paid a lot of money for this guy, but playing him as a backup, he's only 20. He's got bags of potential. Another player who could certainly, go out on loan to another Premier League club, increase his value a little and then maybe get sold in a few years. But for now, he sits on the bench. He's one of these players who I can call upon, and his kind of big aerial presence and big strength and big physicals just mean that he's the kind of player who I can chuck on as a last roll of the dice and really, hoof the ball up to, and he'll do a job for us. Other than that, I think we're pretty much a full strength squad for today's game. So that's good, I suppose. Just making sure we've got the right balance of subs. Courtois on for Carson and swapping those around. That must have been a misclick by me. I'm glad I noticed there rather than confirming the team and realising I had it set up all wrong. I feel like the overall balance of the squad's really good, and we've got plenty of attacking options on the bench. Paul the Thumb is still here, actually. He's requesting to kind of be sold, but as it is, kind of as it currently stands, no one's coming in for him. He's been a great player, a Thumb for us since kind of we're in League One. He actually kind of was single-handedly saved us from relegation in our first year in League One, but since kind of the Championship season where he kind of played second fiddle to Barney, and that was when Barney kind of really shone, he's gone quiet. But we play Arsenal today. They're playing with a lot of men in attack, and I just forgot to do a team talk. That better not come back to bite me. But no, I mean, Arsenal are playing with 5 in midfield. They lined up against us like this before, and we gave them a pretty good game, and that was last season when we played with kind of 3 midfielders, and they kind of dominated us. But we've got the likes of Bocal now, who hopefully can do something for us. Let's get the ball out here, though. Get it out, that'll do. Can we hit them on the counter? Courtois, you are fast. Pedro Paulo, great ball through. Barney's there, bury that. It's in. Shane Barney scores 1-0. Wow, that's a great counter-attack. Courtois with his burst of pace, the centre mid. You guys may remember, and I strongly suggest going back and finding this, but I think it was the first episode of this season. Wow, diving header as well. Barney, you beast. But no, Courtois kind of has his own unique player role that I've kind of invented for him called workhorse, or at least that's what I'm kind of calling it. But so far this season he's played insane in that position. It's essentially a central midfielder who's going to run like a headless chicken after the ball, put in his effort, and then really kind of create space for kind of his partner in the centre, which is Bocau in this case. Wilshire's off. Send him off, ref. Bye bye Wilshere. Bye bye Wilshere. Bye bye Wilshere. Bye. Why am I singing? I can't even sing. It's more of a chant, I suppose. But 1-0 and they're down to 10 men. Passionate, lads. Things are going. I'm happy with the performance. Keep it up. Defence, passionate. I'm happy with your solid defensive work. Midfield, you weren't bad, but you can improve. I have faith. Same for Shane Barney. Great reactions all round. Arsenal down to 10 men. This would be an absolutely huge result for us. It's not going to be easy, even against 10 men of Arsenal. They dominated for large spells that first half, but it's now they've lost Wilshere. They're down to 4 in the midfield, which is really where they were kind of outnumbering and bossing us. So hopefully, with kind of lacking Wilshere, we can kind of exploit some space that he's left open. And they've only got 3 at the back, so maybe we can do something against them. But they've got a chance. Josimar holds on though. You beast in goal, the Brazilian monster. Getting the save away, and I mean, he's looking like a great player for us. I mean, he's come to us, he's not Brazil's first choice keeper, but he's now been considered for the national team, which is a great bit of progress by him, not process. Long live comms, just they're the bane of me, but we've got a chance here. I think we've got a chance, unless they're going to hit us on the counter. Oh god, I've kind of jinxed it now. I've jinxed it. Get the ball away. Don't kick it to them, though. Don't kick it to them. He's kicked it to them. If they score now, it's all your fault, Josimar. And I've just been telling everyone how amazing you are. Oh, wait, we're through. Look how many men we've got forward. We're looking good here. Come on, one more. Barney's there. Paulo. Oh, you've got to bury that, my son. That was to make it 2-0. That would have been the game. That would have been the game. But not long left. Can we hold out here at the Emirates for a priceless victory? I think that's it. That's got to be it. It is it. 1-0. Yes, boys. What a win. Wow. Passionate. That was special, lads. That was special. Looking at the league table, Arsenal slipped down. They've played the same amount of games as us now, and they lost their other game in hand. Holy shit, we're 4th. Admittedly, Man City have some games in hand and stuff, but they're games for them to go and lose, not for us to kind of have any pressure about. We're 4th, wow. Holy crap. I don't really know what to say. Apparently we showed class to upstage Arsenal. Jorge Benitez getting man of the match. He has been a revelation. I know he got sent off and I kind of mocked him for that. But seriously, this guy, he's 18. He's 18. He's going to be one of the world's best centre-backs. And he was on form for us. He's only got 18 months left of his deal. I'm offering him a new contract now. Wow. Okay, you want a lot of money. I'm not offering him a new contract now. And actually, no, I can probably give him... Right. Oh... Time for the fun job, guys, of contract negotiations with me, Jack. Let's see how we get on today. We're negotiating with Jorge Benitez. This is my new side series. I kid, by the way, if you're watching this. I'm really confused, as if I've like skipped into another video. I'm not crazy, honest. So what I'm doing here is I'm offering him a seasonal landmark goal bonus of 10 goals to 350k. Very unlikely he'll get 10 goals as a centre-back. If he does, he probably deserves the 350k. But it's a great way of kind of sweetening the deal and getting a player to sign a contract with you. Other thing I've added is a big gold bonus. Again, it's not a huge gold bonus, £9,000, but it's enough to tempt him into swaying his kind of mind. Give him an international cap bonus as well. He's currently not an international kind of regular for Argentina. And we'll give his agent £1 million. He's asking for 600k, but because his agent's a greedy bastard, he'll probably take that. I think that will work. Okay, it won't work. It won't work, right? We're going to negotiate this with you, sir. 1.1 million for both of you. That's got to be tempting. That's got to be tempting, surely. I'd take that. Team of the Year bonus of 350k. You better take this. How about a relegation release clause of nothing? That always sways players. I see how it is. I can't offer you any more money. I'm sorry, mate. I can't. Unless you want 17,000 goal bonus. Does that make it any better? How about that and 15,000 international cap and 6,500 appearance? That's a fair deal. You're getting tired of these discussions. Well, we'll leave that for later because they want to piss off his agent so he won't sign a new deal for the next 18 months. But we've extended our unbeaten run in the Premier League to 6 games. We've had some big results, actually, looking at our recent results. We beat Man City 2-1 in the last episode, and this month, so far, we are looking good. Draws against Chelsea, and then wins the rest of our games, which is big, because I kind of said at the start of this video that I wasn't expecting us to go out there and kind of play crazily. I was kind of expecting us to lose the Chelsea and Arsenal game and then win the rest. As things have turned out, absolutely superb performances, and they really kind of set our intentions as far as our season goes to maybe push for a Champions League spot this year, which obviously, compared to last year's 12th finish, that would be a massive jump to make, and it would really show kind of the impact that players like Bockow have made, and kind of how players like Barney, who last year really struggled, have kind of stepped up their game this year, and same with Barbosa, you know. A lot of players who I bought in who are still very young, kind of making that step up, and this year really maturing. But anyway, we've got Leicester, and I think this Leicester game will mark the halfway mark of the season. It will. Who have Man City got in their games in hand? That's what I'm wondering. Who have they not played twice yet? If I click on opposition, I should be able to find out. Let me show filters. Let me unclick that and then get rid of everything but the Premier League, and then from that we can work out who they've got to play twice. This probably isn't the most effective way to do it ever. Oh, they've got to play Derby twice. Well, that's a free win. And who's the other team they've got to play twice still? Who is it? Oh, it's Newcastle. Well, they're going to win those 2 games then. It was worth a shot checking who they had in their games which they hadn't played twice. You'd still expect them to beat them, but where are Derby? Where are Derby and Newcastle? Well, Newcastle are bottom. There's no surprise there. And Derby are 13th. So you'd expect them to win them both, and their goal difference is well better than ours. But if they won them both, they'd go ahead of us on points, or goal difference, sorry. We'd be equal on points, so that wouldn't be a bad thing. Wouldn't be a bad thing at all. I'd be happy with that. And also, we've got a nice little cushion onto West Ham, who are currently in 5th, but potentially in 6th. So you'd kind of say from the position we're in now, we should really be looking forward towards a top 5 finish, maybe even a top 4 finish. We've got some big results against Man City and Arsenal, and a draw against Chelsea, you know. They're 3 of the big teams in the league, and if we can get results against them, it's a case of us eradicating the kind of cock-ups and slip-ups we have against the worst opposition that have kind of cost us dearly, and, you know, winning those games, and we could be challenging for top 4 this season. That's got to be realistic. But anyway, Leicester, not an easy game, but Leicester in the last game of this kind of sequence of results. This is the kind of game where, as I was mentioning, we can't slip up. We need to beat teams like Leicester. We have to obviously beat the big teams like we have been doing, but, you know, kind of match the expectation and level of performance we get against the big teams against these kind of teams. I'm probably going to stick with the same squad that played the last game, I think I'm probably going to change my mind here. In fact, we'll play Troy Warner on the left-hand side. We'll stay with our midfield the same. Defensively, we look good, which is nice. Full-strength squad, pretty much, you'd say, really. Except for Moyano on the left, who I'd probably choose to play left. Because, I mean, Moyano's a quality player, actually. I should probably start training him to play centre-mid, just because he's kind of evolved from being the target man forward he was when he came to the squad a few years ago, into really becoming that well-rounded off kind of central midfielder player that he could be. But anyway, let's see how we get on today. Barney is making his 250th career league appearance, and Glenn Stewart is making his 300th career league appearance. Obviously, both those lads are captain and vice-captain respectively of the club, and both very kind of long-serving players for us. So good to see them hitting those landmarks. Looking forward to the days where they're kind of hitting 300 league games for our club solely rather than in their entire career. Let's tell the players to have fun. Tell the midfield there's a lot to come from them, and we believe they have what it takes. Same for you, Barney. Barney's hit some nice form, which is good to see. He'd kind of been impartial up until this part of the season, but he has kind of certainly, especially kind of in this live comp, he's established himself as kind of being our forward. I had been playing like Warner and stuff as lone forward, and Barbosa had a few games there, and I'd kind of rejigged around the attacking midfielders. So far this month, kind of Barney has always played as the central forward, and it's paid off for us. He's looking good. He is looking good, and to be fair, we're looking good as a whole this year. This year, we look like we've stepped up our performance levels. I'd be interested to know, guys, what do you think's changed this year for kind of SC United and Manchester? If you're watching up until this point, let me know. Just write down anything. Wow, Courtois scores as well. Well, I think that just kind of proves the point I was saying about how we've upped our performances. Guys, let me know down below. Write. I'm trying to think of something to write, because I always ask people to write something. Write a comment involving Courtois. No, actually, that doesn't make sense. Write what you think of the tactics and what you think's going right for us. And then finish your message thing, your comment, with a number on the end. Just any number. It could be 1, it could be 6, it could be 7. Just that, instead of having a full stop, add a number. But let me know what you think of the tactics. Let me know. Do you think it's the tactics that have improved? Is it the likes of Bocau? Is it just a bit more quality and a bit kind of better, intricate play? It just seems like we move the ball around a lot more. Barney's through. Wow. 2-0. That is a slip-up by Leicester at the back, and we look good. Yet again, we look very good. Warner winning the ball there, or not really winning the ball, but just being a nuisance of himself, and then I don't even know what that defensive shambles was there by Leicester, but I'm not going to complain. But I kind of just feel like this year, the quality that we've added in Bocau and what's his face? Courtois in the centre, and then Abu playing behind them, who unfortunately we are going to lose. But I just feel as if that kind of trio in midfield this year have developed such an intricate partnership, and they all kind of complement each other so well in their kind of styles of play. We're creating far more chances than we were last year, and we're just more dominant in the centre of the park, and as a result it's benefiting us both defensively but also helping us to score more goals and work the ball around a lot better. I mean, 2-0 against Leicester in the first half is absolutely insane. It'd be nice if we could get a few more, because our goal difference isn't the best in the league, and it'd be nice to kind of just bolster it that little bit more. Barney's through. Pace, acceleration. Misses the chance. I suppose it was saved more than him missing it, but we've got a chance from this corner, except Barbosa's incapable of catching the ball from the ball boy. But no, 2-0, really good performance in the first half. Got to maintain that. Passionate, you've played well, keep it going. Midfield, there's a lot to come from you, and I believe you have what it takes. Defenders, pressure's off tonight. Strikers, I believe you've got what it takes. Barney getting motivated as always. Courtois and Barney with the goals for us so far. Class acts, to say the least. And hopefully we can just see out this game, grab a few more goals. Leicester change into a 5-3-2. I don't know what the tactical thinking is behind that. Is it just a case of parking the bus and hoping they don't get beaten by more at home? Probably. That's probably the case. We're just scaring them. We've got the ball in. Please don't hit us on the counter. I'm always worried about the counter-attack now. We're kind of getting to that stage where we always play so attackingly that we're susceptible to the counter. And wow, Connor Wickham scores on the counter as I mentioned the counter. Oh dear. Oh dear. I feel like I'm talking to a little kid when you're like, oh no. It seems to happen too often. Please don't do what we did against Reading. Let's go and grab another so I'm not sat on the edge of my seat watching highlights in the last 10 minutes and panicking. Let's do a sub. Let's just change something for the sake of it. Let's bring on Giles Jose for Barbosa. And a thumb on the left. Let's bring Paul a thumb on the left. Sided kind of attacker inside forward. He deserves a bit of a run out. He's not had much of a chance in the first team the last few seasons. Let's give him some time to shine for the last 20 minutes. Looking at the time, it looks like it's going to be a nice, boring finish. And I say nice and boring. That's a bit of an oxymoron. but I'd rather it was a boring finish than them go and get a goal or them go and have loads of highlights at the end of the game. But good solid win again, 2-1. That was a good performance. A good win, boys, well done. Midfield, I was impressed by how you control the midfield. They're not reacting very well. Let's just tell them... No, let's try something out of the defence. What should I tell them? I'm disappointed. Now they get angry. So if I say something positive that everyone doesn't react in there, I say something badly and they all get mad. But no, that result really does cap off an amazing live com session, to be honest. This has been episode 75, but in this episode we've really stated our intentions as a potential kind of top team in this league. You know, we could finish top 4 at this rate. It's going to be interesting to see how we kind of, I guess, develop and advance without Abu going into the next month. But in terms of kind of winning some big games and finding our way up in the table, it couldn't have gone much better. Man U have played their game in hand on us, and we're actually only, well, we're 2 points off second. So if that's anything to go by, we're still in the fight for kind of a potential really high Premier League finish, which would be absolutely crazy. But as you've seen this episode, we're just playing really well, and Josimar's keeping clean sheets, which is good as well. But anywho, well, let's have a quick review of our fixtures. Oh gosh, this is all screwed up because of what I was doing earlier with looking at Man City's game in hand. So let's have a look at our fixtures that we played during today's episode. So we played 6 games. We lost 1 against Man U away in the League Cup. Not too bad. Got a draw at Stamford Bridge, 1 at the Emirates, got 3 good wins as well against kind of teams you'd expect us to win, but you have to go and get those results. And overall, we're on a nice little winning run in the league. 7 games unbeaten now, and I mean, we've got some big games coming up. I think the next live I'm not going to do the next Man U game, or actually I probably should. Yeah, I will. Man U will be the next game, guys. It's not too far away, but it has to be done, especially if we're still really close to them as we are now, because if we could get our first win against them, it would kind of change the complexion of the whole league table, particularly if kind of we keep going at the rate we're going in terms of our level of performances in the league. And we gave them a good match at Old Trafford as well. Looking at our league top goal scorer, Shane Barney got 6 goals this episode, I believe, or thereabouts, which is good. Very happy with the team's performances as a whole. Looking at recent top performers, Benitez has played well this session. Barney and Bockow as well. I mean, Bockow doesn't get that many assists, but he's a class act in the centre of the park. I mean, 1 assist and 1 goal and an average rate of 7.42. But he really he is the engine of the team in terms of the playmaking. And then partnered by Courtois, who plays centre mid alongside him, who just does all the running. The 2 guys link up so well and single-handedly allow us to win battles in the midfield. But anyway, guys, I'm rambling now. But as always, if you've enjoyed the video, give the video a cheeky like. Really helps me out in terms of helping people find the videos. If you've got any comments with regards to the series, leave them down below. Remember at the end of your comment to leave a number, just so I know that you've watched until near enough the end of the video. And other than that, I'll talk to you guys in a bit. It's me, Jack, and I'm out, guys.